Greetings, dear beloveds. It is I, the Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, so close in heart to Brother Jesus, his divine partner, who travelled through life with him, and we shared a family and children, and our bloodline is still in existence on planet Earth. It is to be protected at this time. It holds the future of the race in its hand. These ones of great history and great future, and indeed have traversed the pathways of time to be here on this planet now, carry codes which allow them to awaken, support and manifest the frequencies of the new earth, and therefore bring it into existence. All amongst you at this time who resonate with this are being called to align to this energy. Called to awaken in your hearts, called to awaken in memory of who you are and who you have been throughout ages past. Every person on this planet holds the coding of being a light being, a multi-dimensional being. And you are all at this time, dear inhabitants of planet Earth. You are now literally pulling in and pulling back, calling back those soul fragments, calling back all aspects of yourself to create the wholeness, the oneness that is you. When the human realizes what a vast, multidimensional creation it is, then the idea of humanity being one, of living in oneness, becomes much clearer. When you realize that you have fragments which are brothers and sisters and running alongside and in the same life fields as your friends and those in your soul group, and that indeed these connections exist throughout time, you understand that the fabric of life here is indeed not one that the 3D has ever been able to clearly represent or name, or even really come anywhere near finding the words to explain or unpack to the general population. We talk about 5D or 7D chess. This indeed is a masterwork of creation itself. These many dimensions that human beings hold within them. And it is these dimensions that allow you to cross time, to recall so-called past lives, which I'm sure you all are becoming aware now, according to quantum theory, that are really parallel timelines, as time in the higher dimensions does not exist. The shifting of time, which many of you will be feeling at this time, is a sign that your energy is well embedded now in the 4th dimension and moving to the 5th. Time is one of the major aspects of the 4th dimension. It lets you know, yes, you are still on Earth, still connected to the 3D, but when time starts to shift and becomes something other than what you have known time to be, this is your sign that you are well immersing in the 4th dimension, and that indeed when the 5th comes to us at the time of the flash, comes to you all, comes to humanity, and you move into no time, this again You will know, you will feel, but of course you will have the comprehension to understand what is happening and the structure that it is happening in at that point. For now, simply be aware and cognizant and welcome these shifts in time, that some days 10 minutes can feel like an hour, and other days 2 hours can feel like 10 minutes. This is the shifting time, and this is letting you know that the bonds and binding of the 3D are indeed loosening their grip and allowing you, welcoming you, calling you now to reach beyond the veil which is already thinning, to these higher frequency aspects of yourself. There has been a lot of past life work done on this planet by the seekers amongst you, and great fruit has been discovered. Often the past lives have been dense lives that need to be understood and cleared in a way. They have been leaking their darkness or their particularly hard challenges into your current life, which is why they have appeared. What is happening now as the veil lifts is you are getting recalled and recalling your past versions of yourself, which indeed exist on much higher frequencies. Times and frequencies where you have, for example, gained mastery in certain crafts, in certain metaphysical realms. Great spiritual mastery has been attained in these other lifetimes by many of you. Indeed, those of you who came at the call in the 1950s, after the galactics shifted their gaze back to planet Earth after the nuclear horror of Hiroshima, and looked at Earth and realized that Earth was destroying itself at that time. And the call went out for light workers from many, many star systems to come to Earth to attempt to correct and rebalance the society from the inside out. This involved them having to be birthed into a human womb and a human mother and a human father, and to bring their very extended selves down into the limited 3D experience. Many of you listening to this will be aware of this aspect of Earth's history. For those for who it is new, yes, we urge you to feel into this and feel if you may indeed be one of these light workers, these ones who put their hands up to come and be a volunteer at this time to help correct Earth's path back to the light. So, dear ones, we are bringing today the great love of the feminine, the deep female, the divine feminine, her power to heal, her power to balance. In your current political times, where great push and pull and discord, disharmony are being played out and activated all over the surface of your planet, feel that it is this divine aspect that understands and carries peace at its core. Peace because any vessel capable of birth, of birthing a living being, understands the sacredness of that being born and would never wish death, hardship, torture, or deprivation for this being. the energy of the mother understands that life is divine, inherently divine, and that each human who has received this gift of life, whatever your origins before birthing here onto this planet, has been gifted this divine gift. And the challenge now for those on the surface of planet Earth is to decide what they are going to do with this gift of life. Sadly, there are those who have been well tempted into the realms of technical, what is the word? Technical absorption, technical manipulation, technical... we are trying to describe a state where the self is almost lost. It is abnegated as it spends the hours scrolling and referring to itself only through its reflection via Facebook, where the core of the self has been sacrificed to what is read in the social media or what is viewed in the mainstream media. This is, of course, part of the plan of the darkness on the planet and an aspect of darkness itself. Unfortunately for many, and many of those indeed are in the younger generation, this is a form of potentially disconnection from the soul. There is still time to return, and there will be various events playing out on planet Earth which will offer portals and callings for these ones who have sort of been lost down this path of surrendering self to technology and the machine. There are opportunities now to be called back into the integral source-centered codes of the new human. The death of the recent young public figure in America is one of these flags. This man of good heart and solid work ethic and great courage on the spiritual front. His death has awakened many different conflicting sides, and it is true that many will be able to be pulled back from their confusion and their misunderstanding and their alliance to this false reality by regard and love and respect for such a soul. These are turning points indeed on the surface of the planet. And we encourage you to keep holding this rose that I gift you today, this divine rose, this red, pink, white, blissfully scented rose, to take it from me now and to take it and put it into your heart and to hold it there, so that as you gaze out into the oncoming affairs of the world, you hold the peace and the love of the divine at your center. Yeshua and I are always with you. We are in you, as you know. The second coming of Christ, so-called, is indeed the awakening of the Christ energy within you, within each and every human on this planet at this time. This is not to say that many ascended masters are not currently in human form or will be in human form after the shift. But this principle of the Christ energy, the rebirthed Christ energy, the second coming, to be clear, if it is not clear to you already, dear souls, this is you who is being called. You who is being called to step in to your mighty soul memory of who you truly are as a being of light who is elected to come and journey with planet Earth through this time of the shift into this new age, the emerging golden age on planet Earth. This age is linked to a time where the planet Earth will become a very important hub in the galaxy and beyond, throughout the whole solar system and galactic field. Earth has always been a planet of great promise, and this reborn version of her will indeed be a very balanced and high-frequency hub, indeed a true universal library for all the races of the Galactic Federation and the aligned races who work under the Law of One and the Galactic Codex, to come here to learn, to refuel, to collaborate with mankind, to teach humanity. This indeed will be a fertile and humming place of wonder within your lifetime, dear souls. I stand today with my beloved Yeshua, and I let you know we are one. We are the divine hierogamic union that is existent in the soul of every human. The twin soul, the mate, is destined for you all, and it does already exist on your planet. Some beings have indeed connected with their other half, as it were, and as the light increases, more and more will continue to do so. It has been said for a long time there is great potency in this union, and it is true that the self which was once whole and consciously chose to divide itself into two parts to have the experience of dividing itself and being in two parts. This was the wish of prime creation to experience duality, and so it was. As part of the journey back to unity, these two aspects of the one soul will find each other again, and there will be a unification of self as the so-called whole soul is able to hold a much greater energy and embody considerably more of the light when it is unified back into its soul essence, that which the hierogamic union provides. So, dear ones, there is mighty love in your hearts. I can and do send you my love as Yeshua holds you in his. And yet we are calling to the seed of love within you, dear soul. That which carries such a sense of homecoming and such a sense of home. We wish this for you, and we ask you to persevere with this shedding of layers, shedding of veils, shedding of protection, anything that is keeping the mighty force of your heart pulse, your heartbeat, compromised. Let this pulse move to the center of your being and the center of your life, dear ones. And indeed, it is your ultimate strength and your ultimate rock. I will leave you now today. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and receiving this message today. I am yours in eternity, Mary Magdalene. Blessed be.
Mm.